Jeff, any old asshole can show up with a plan or a proposal.
I'm not really sure what I've done to you, but I'll take a Pinot Grigio.
We're just out here just to be cool.
You're nailing it, by the way. I mean, if you know what an asshole can bring, then what do you call yourself for twice bringing jack squat? What do you call yourself then?
Against the recommendations of a trusted friend, Katie, who is obviously so much smarter than these people, the nudging of the proprietress that you are pitching to, against the instructions you received from the pitch receiver. No, man, we're just going to go in there and just like vibes. We're just vibing. We're just going to vibe.
Probably also the advice of anyone else you would ever talk to about anything. Ask them like, hey man, I got a meeting coming up. Should I do something for it? Yeah, probably. I mean, that's it. That's all you'd have to know. And yeah, you should probably do something.
These folks are so stupid. I had to quit writing how stupid they were because it was just eating up so many pages.
It made the episode. There's a lot that made this episode hard. There's lots of good stuff, but we'll get there.
Hello, everyone. This is But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio podcast. This is Vintage VPR, Vanderpump Rules, Season 4, Episode 7, Spit Take, in which Jeff and I were really sort of dissecting the origins of the title. Yes, there was some spit. And yes, we were asked to take it. But I do not believe we received any spit takes.
No, it wasn't the episode for that. It wasn't.
No.
Yeah.
And this one wasn't so conflict heavy either. I mean, there was some stuff happening.
Who are you?
Oh, hi, I'm Sundi, pop culture professor, self-proclaimed expert on all things pop culture, like heavy on the self-proclaimed, and obviously forgot this thing. This is only our 1,000th episode, and I'm still forgetting how we introduce it. So here we are.
Well, good thing you have me. I'm Jeff, the culinary and hospitality industry expert on this, very dedicated to a restaurant program. Mm-hmm. I think it was like a world record for a number of times they did show some real workers in the kitchen. You know, Absolutely. Not a lot to get from it, but enough to make me think one day it could happen.
I mean, and we got some real work, and they've also heard your pleas. And in the beginning of every episode, they will put together a little montage of these kind of like moments, like putting a rolled silverware on the table, looking at a glass in the light,
a quick saute, a flip in the saute pan. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. So this particular episode, it was kind of a little bit of a catch up. So I guess the rest of us can kind of catch our breath because the last 3 or 4 episodes have just been full on momentum. But before I get to it, I do want a little bit of business. So by the time you're hearing this, we will have already published our interview with Jim Smith, who is a former Top Chef contestant from seasons 14 and 16, like the Charleston and Louisville seasons. He's also the owner and chef of Hummingbird Way. That is out. Go listen to that. He was really fun. And he gave us some real juicy behind the scenes stuff about Top Chef. And, you know, that is what I'm here for. You and him got to talk a lot about sort of like the ins and outs of the food stuff. But I was here for that. Like, let me tell you how they do Last Chance Kitchen, or let me tell you what they really are. So it was something for everybody. Go listen to it. And Top Chef, obviously, is already out now, too. We are really dwindling down. They're down to 9 contestants now, and so things are starting to kind of ramp up. Be on the lookout for the upcoming Last Chance Kitchen that we do. That drops on Wednesdays, where we debut our new cook challenge. This week's cook challenge, however, is going to be real exciting, so stay on the look for that. And, of course, Ladies of London on Thursdays and Vintage VPRs on Tuesdays and Fridays. Oh, and follow us on socials at Take a Pinot Pod. All of that, just crammed it in. Got it.
And email anything to Jeff at pinotpod. Anything. He needs more email than Sundi, so please get him some email.
Because that's the last fucking thing I need. Like, I need a hole in the head is what I need more email. But, see, only 5 minutes in. Now we're just now getting to it.
Heck yeah. Right? That's the biz. Get us to WeHo. Take me to WeHo.
So to remind from last week, the Toms have an idea of a suggestion of something they maybe could want to maybe do. So there's a pitch dumbassery involved. Brittany is clueless, and
Mhm.
depending on what moment of which episode you drop into, they are or are not together. Jax's interests in Lala ramp up, and James' kink is biting, and thanks, Lauren, for bringing that to the forefront. Yeah, so we pick up at Villa Rosa. I believe that LBP is in jeans again, so she's just really kind of like relaxing into her role as producer and sideline associate here.
Yeah,
But
I love laid back Lisa. Love
Mhm.
laid back Lisa.
Yeah. We meet Ariel, who is a teen counselor
Mhm.
for homeless teenagers, and Lisa saw her post on Facebook and reached out to her because that's exactly what we understand. Lisa's just scrolling Facebook looking for partners to collab with, sure. But this particular organization helps, I guess, grant wishes or give experiences to teens experiencing homelessness.
Yeah, sounded like really cool idea she has coming in. I do love Lisa just scrolling on She was just dropping some stuff on the marketplace and happened to come by Ariel's
Did we
post
have
there.
Marketplace in 2015? Because I
Sure.
don't know, boo. I don't know.
Maybe Lisa has a different Facebook than we do, though. Also, she had a beta testing version of it, probably. Who's the other pup, by the way? We've got Jiggy.
I don't know. Because from my memory of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, there were always a whole gaggle
Mhm.
of dogs running around. So, like, whenever the other housewives would show up to her house, there'd be like 6 or 7 barking, barking, barking. But I think, obviously, Jiggy is her favorite. So he's the one that meets, like, she doesn't want anybody pulling focus from Jiggy. So we haven't met any of the others. So the idea is that some of these teenagers have never been to a restaurant, and Lisa really hopes that the staff can just like take a lesson from this.
Mm.
Stop thinking about your stupid selves and get in there and be charitable about it. Worry about others, not yourself. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
sure, got it, check. That sounds exactly like our WeHo dummies.
I think she's working her self brand very well in this one. Ken too, though. You know, I like he's going right along with it. We'll make a big fuss of him.
Well,
Yep.
Ken did not drop any tea.
So Ken was being pretty gracious about it.
But
Also,
speaking of we're laughing at you, not with you, we head over to the planning session at Katie and Schwartz's house.
is that what this is officially? You think? Is that what we'll call this? Let's see.
They start talking about Schwartz's hair, and of course it's dumb, and more belaboring the point that the permanent is a metaphor for their relationship, in which
Yeah.
Katie has adopted the metaphor and says, yeah, it absolutely is, because it's weak and bullshit and just completely went flat. So I was like,
Yep.
yike.
Yeah, she seems over it, and at the same time wants that one thing so bad that I can't make head or tails of it. Like, I love Katie. Like, I just don't know what we're going for here. As much as all the time I want to grab Jax like an older brother, like, hey man, you seem like you got a lot of energy going in one direct. Like, what are we going for here? You're lying. The way you're lying to everyone really makes me wonder where we're going. Like, Katie's the opposite. She's great, and I want to be like, what are you doing? What?
Right.
I mean, you just watched this happen. This is so bad watching this 11 years later on a screen. In person at the time, I cannot imagine.
And I imagine that whenever Schwartz said, hey man, Sandoval's about to come over and we're going to talk about our pitch, she's thinking, okay, I'm going to sit in on it, kind of like hear what their progress is and, just kind of see where they're at. She was immediately informed how unprepared they're going to be, because it's not, I wrote down some literal quotes, and as two people who are grown, who have had to pitch and participate in, business to business stuff, let me know how, appropriate these ideas sound when you're trying to pitch somebody. I think that it is just not that beneficial to come up with too many specifics.
You're right.
Because, summer is coming and I got birthdays and trips, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to really like jump in on it.
There's lots of to-dos with them, I think. A whole list. Don't stay busy all year. That's a big one. You got trips and stuff. Birthdays. You got to just make some time for birthdays. Don't have a plan for the people that asked you to have a plan.
Yeah,
Don't
because
do
any
that.
asshole can come in with a presentation. Right.
Say that the product is cool. Make sure if you're selling a product, say
Mhm.
it's cool.
Because it's less on sales and more on coolness.
That's right. Coolness is what makes the magic happen. Don't be clear in your plan if you get one, and don't commit to it either. Don't do either
Right.
one of those.
Oh, and don't forget to volunteer to work for free.
Please
Get
write
there.
something down. Pen. Get a pen. Get
That's
a
right.
paper.
Bring a pen.
Google business plan and fill in the blanks. Basically, do that. Just
You have
do that
already
right there.
suggested way more effort than these jabronis are willing to do. Getting a pen, beyond the pale. Sir, what do you think I'm doing? So the build up to that is coming, and later we'll talk about Lisa's reaction, which is almost the exact reaction that we're having right now. But then we land at Sir, and Jax is trying to talk to us about the interaction between him and Lala when they left together. And he was like, yeah, she was drinking a lot and I was drinking a lot, but we didn't sleep together. We just couldn't. So like he couldn't get it up, right? Like that's the subtext there.
I don't know what's implied. I don't know what the subtext is. I thought Sundi, you as a sometimes Jax apologist, very often a huge Jax Taylor fan here in season 4, especially. One, he says, I was messed up at Pride. She was messed up at Pride. We left together from Pride, but we just couldn't. But I would have destroyed her. Where does that fall to you as someone who has repeatedly gotten the back of Jax Taylor? I'm just wondering, because maybe since I don't see it in him, maybe it's something I can't get. So I'm looking to you to translate for me what that is.
Sure. So to quote many of the political pundits that are talking right now in the sphere, context matters.
It does.
And I believe that he is speaking very specifically about one part of her that he would have destroyed. Could he have gotten an erection? I do not believe that he could have. I think because of all of the cocaine and all of the booze that this man ingested, there was no way he was going to achieve what he needed to be. And there is a bit of an age difference, too, between Lala and Jax. And, it's a colloquialism. He would have, destroyed that. He's
right.
He didn't because he couldn't.
Well, while you're sticking with the pundits of our time, you're also not really answering the question, and we shall move on. That's no problem.
Right. I mean, fine.
No problem at all.
I didn't hate it. I didn't find it as terrifyingly misogynistic as some of the other things that were said later. That was one of the most innocuous transgressions. It was
that's gross. Just because it's not as bad as some of this other horrible shit later on. Like, you're right. He didn't spit at her and call her a slut, so I guess he's a real saint for the ladies over here.
Like I said, context matters. So
put Jax Taylor on the cover of Ms. Magazine, everybody. He should stop short of calling somebody a slut and spitting at them.
Ask your grandmothers what Ms. Magazine is. Nobody knows that. So he kind of checks in with her, and apparently James has been really kind of pursuing her, texting her all these things, and she refers to him as begging like a sad puppy. Yes. She has nothing for him since he fucked her coworker. She don't even say her name. So here's where we start to kind of parse through the Brittany of it all. Where do you understand that him and Brittany are? Because we've heard many, many versions of the story around them. So in this moment, as the audience, what are we supposed to know that him and Brittany's status is?
I think we left it in the last episode saying, pretty sure when he's with her, they are an exclusive dating pair. And when he is anywhere else, again, maybe even the next room, that's not the case to him. But he's talking to her like that is the case. And if I didn't think that before this episode, when he is asked about it by Lala point blank, and he starts with the phrase, here's the thing, because it's a very cut and dry answer. There is no what's going on with your relationship? Is it on or is it off? Here's the thing. Because you're not going about to, get your chalkboard out and start diagramming everything that's going on in the relationship. Is it on or is it off? Because, we got to get it popping, daddy, if it's off. So he can't stand himself
I mean,
at all to say it. And you pointed out,
to
yes,
clarify, he says this: it can't be official until it's official.
Mhm.
So, that just sheds light on the whole situation. I feel like he's just really working hard to be transparent in this.
Yes.
No, that's so dumb. But but I think he is really pinning a lot of it on her moving there too. That's the way he keeps talking about
That's
it to
this
everybody else.
week's thing to delay
Yeah.
it. Well, it can't really be official until she lives here, because I'm not flying her out every weekend, which, right, you
I
shouldn't,
mean,
but you
that
should
Hooters
say.
money. So
He can't help himself. I mean, I don't think how sentences are coming out. I'm actually surprised at him for doing that. And I mean, yeah, they end up agreeing to meet for a drink, which I think she says thank you at the end of that also, which is weird. Have you ever thanked someone for wanting to get a drink with them? I like that. But
Well, too, Lala does that thing where she's always got to bring it around to him thinking about
that's what I
her.
was gonna say. Yes,
Yeah.
you've been mentioning that last couple weeks, and then apropos of nothing, I'm asking you to get a drink, not suck your dick, and Jax just does that. I hate it. I hate it.
Mm.
Oh,
The
man,
the
he
flush
starts
comes over him. I
doing
see.
this.
Mhm.
Like he had never even thought of that was a possibility until, oh God, yeah. I mean, now that you mention it, I am kind of thinking about you in a provocative way.
Which feels like he sort of stays in that space too. But
Yes.
also at her, James's mother shows up. Now, this is another person that I thought hatched from a reptile clutch underneath the deck of Sir and slithered out behind the DJ booth. He
Yep.
has an actual mother who is, wait for it, younger than us in this episode.
Yeah, I didn't care for that
And
either. She said she was 45. Well, she's younger than us now. Yeah.
right. Yes, in this moment. And so they're having dinner. And guess who waits on them? Your girl.
Christina Kelly in the house. Yes.
Right.
Being sweet once again. Happy to see that.
Yeah. Well, she's making that money, honey.
Uh-huh.
What are some things that, biographically speaking, that stuck with you about James's mom?
Let's see. She's got a come and go accent. I noticed that. I guess she first met his dad when she was 17,
I don't
somewhere around
know.
there. Yeah. Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. That's one thing I thought.
Mm-hmm.
They're both into word art shirts. That's something.
She's a former model,
Yeah.
and they are divorcing. And so before we get to the breakup of that and James's reaction to it, they talk about Kristen. And the way that they're talking, who is this man? James is a
Yeah, I know.
completely different person. He apologizes for saying fuck.
Yeah. A few times. He cusses a couple times and apologizes after. Yeah, he apologizes 2 or 3 times for it.
Yeah.
Mm.
And accuses Kristen of cheating, which his case is thinner than any case Kristen Doty has ever made against any man ever. You listen,
Yeah.
you should have taken if you really want to come hot at her, take a page from her book. Receipts, timelines, all this stuff. Get in it and do it, because you just say,
Teammates.
just saying that, oh, she did it with some dude in Detroit is very thin, and you're just not going to get Doty on that. But his mother, because as mothers tend to do, take his side.
Yeah, she does tell him something I think we've thought about a lot, when she's like, don't save the drama. Stop making it all that, there's so much to come in life.
Yeah.
There's just so much else that's going to come up. Stop
Yeah.
manufacturing all this drama.
He really takes that advice, though, in this episode. I think he really heard her and was like, yes, Mom, that's really good advice to take. But this is where it takes a weird turn, and he's crying about his parents' divorce.
Yeah.
And they're breaking up, and this is where he kind of talks about how his coping skills have kind of turned to substance, and he's drinking a lot, but it's always the women's fault. If these women weren't such sluts and bitches, then he wouldn't have to drink so much.
She addresses that, though, at least, because he says it's been in their family, and, it's people are going to love to see you fuck up. If you want to keep doing that, there's going to be an audience for that. And I'm like, yeah,
Stick
that
around,
couldn't be
Mom.
more true than
Stick
right
around,
now.
Mom. Because she's like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you." And I was just like, "Just sit right there and wait for him to pour himself a drink and then talk to me about how proud you are of this man, because disgusting."
Yes.
Then we go from there to Kristen and Jax at the gym. I love this friendship. I want to see more of it. I don't like these two are the like head villains in charge. I love it so much. One of them is smart but unhinged, and one of them is dumb but like really malleable. This is a duo for the ages here.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. A place for Kristen to get out of her aggression in a legal way, I think is awesome. There's not a bar right there, so that's great. I liked Jax getting the gloves on, and then he went to like mess with his hair. So just this big paw like went in his hair.
Right
I
in there.
loved it. But I like Jax and Kristen as buddies too. I mean, I really do. I have been very vocal maybe about neither one of them being my favorite character on this program, but get them together in a somewhat normal way, because Jax talks to her in a more normal tone of voice, like
Yeah.
an easier digestible way than he does anybody else. Like there's not this extra thing he's lurking for, and it's more just a normal, like, I don't want to keep saying normal, but like just an approachable way, like Schwartzy, a more affable kind of
Yes.
Jax is what we get here.
And I believe it's because he is not trying to perform the bravado. He is not
Same with
trying
her.
to sleep
Yeah.
with her. He is not trying to like convince her that he is like some kind of guy about something. Like I think that it is a more relaxed version of himself. But Kristen describes him as loyal.
Yep.
What you make of that, Jeff?
I think it's worked out for Kristen a couple times lately, and that's, I think,
Show
like
me.
I think he believes her. He didn't go against her on the whole Miami thing. If there's somebody that's going to get rid of everybody else's dirt and get out there with it, it's Jax. Like Jax doesn't talk about his own self a whole bunch, for real honest. But when it comes down to what the other dudes have been doing when they're out of town, Jax will say what's going on with them, and she appreciates that because she needs to know that kind of thing.
She had to orchestrate an ambush dinner to where her and whoever else was coming, her and Sheena had to get him to dinner so she could trick him into telling a truth. This man has pushed her under the bus, has contradicted her story, has made her seem like an insane person many, many times. Loyal
Yes.
is a wild take. That is
I
a
think
wild take.
it's only, I'm saying for her though, it makes sense for me. Yes. In a what have you done for me lately kind of way, I do see what she means.
I mean, okay, but now she had a date, or she has a date with Alex, the yacht captain. And all we need to know about this man, and what we need to know that it's not going to work out, is that he is successful and has goals, and she's not going to like him. Like, that's what I
Right.
heard.
And a little shade against Sandoval, right? Because Jax is like, you've never dated a guy like that before. I was like, well, wasn't your best friend is her boyfriend? And you're like,
Right.
yeah, he's never had goals or anything like that.
But, like,
So
we saw the planning session earlier, so I don't feel like, I don't feel like
I'm not
really
getting his back. I'm
jumping.
just and that's exactly,
And
that is what it is what you're saying though. When you say you've never dated a guy like that before, you are including your best friend in that. Just saying.
And so she's heard a rumor that just contradicted the thing that we just said, that they broke up, him and Brittany. And he says, so she is moving here. And everybody that he tells this says, like, she's not moving in with you, right? And then we get a little montage. I don't know if it's here or later, but that's the first thing that everybody says. It's like, Jax, you're not letting her move in. And he's like, no, not at all, not at all. They're just trying to figure it out. I want to know I want to know how Brittany characterizes this relationship, right? That would be an interesting piece of revelatory evidence for her to,
I hope we get a lot of that later on. Definitely. Yeah. Kristen's pretty sure she and James are, never ever getting back together. I mean, looking to be a makeout whore.
Yeah. I mean, I'm here for it. Like, go through.
I am too.
she didn't really get a hoe phase right after Sandoval. She jumped
No.
from one skinny little thing to a next. And so for sure, and it's a real hard no on James, which I am really glad. Maybe she'll get a dog.
That's the best advice I think Jax has given. He's like, you need a bunch of no strings hookups and a dog. And I was like, that's absolutely right. That's the
that is
best
good advice.
thing you've ever said. And then she's got quite a few names for James. Did you catch everything that she called him?
I didn't write everything down, but I did write 23-year-old brat down, which I felt was kind of the most summative of all of the adjectives she used.
Yeah, there was also douchebag, piece of shit, son of a bitch, brat. Plenty of things to choose from there for.
Well, I mean, I feel like from what we've seen, she's all within bounds. All of those things feel
Not disagreeing. No.
Completely appropriate. So then we go from there to Sir, and I just want to make note of Lisa's little pink briefcase that she has. Cute. I love it. I want it. She just walks in real business-like. She's just taking care of business here. And when they sit down, James immediately thinks he's about to get in trouble. And he starts listing all of the dumb shit that he did on Friday.
I kind of wish it had started with just James being like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and apologize now. And this is what's happening. They're all like, that's not what we're here for. But I mean, way to go.
I mean, at least he has an awareness of it. Like,
let's hold off too much on that.
But it is not a you're in trouble staff meeting. It is a, hey, y'all do this event and be on your best behavior. So she wants to put aside your BS and just give back for a little bit. And in this moment, I guess maybe it's right after his lunch with his mom, because he's sort of riding that contrition that he had with his mom. Because he's like, no, I'm going to show up. I'm going to bust tables. I'm going to be good. Thank you. I'm good. I'm all good. Then he admits his privilege, but nobody knows what's happening in his private life. So
that's right.
Lisa pulls Sandoval to ask about the proposal, and I immediately thought she meant Schwartz and Katie's proposal. But
I did too.
Yeah, but neither one of them are very far down the line. And he just starts saying words. And, he's not at all ready. She gives him some advice. Come in with more than that. Come in equipped. And she said, I might not be psychic, but I know that he's no more bloody prepared than he was when he came in.
Yeah, I mean, she's asking him, like, you doing any research? Even if right then he went to the bathroom and looked up what a business plan was and could text that to Schwartz and be like, go down to FedEx and print this shit off and we'll Crayola it in later. But doesn't still this is still a chance to have that done. And
what if he did Google a business plan?
You're gonna be like, what if he's just dumb?
Well, hear me out. What if he did Google a business plan and it was too hard or it was too involved and he was like, oh shit, I don't want to do none of that. Like, ugh, no. How about I just volunteer to stand around and look cool? Because when they press him, and we'll get to it in a minute, even when Lisa says, hey, what have you even been thinking about? He can't do it. So I think that he doesn't want to volunteer to do anything. He's too busy with trips and birthday parties.
Yeah, I don't think they have looked at it, because I think even if they did, they would have been like, we're choosing to go this other route. It's still too much thought to put into it. So yeah, what more to
maybe. But Sheena's officially Sheena Shea now. She's officially changed it. And Katie's like, exciting, because I didn't know if it was going to happen. They're already married. What are you talking about? It already happened, Katie. But I did notice a little bit of a shift in Sheena's vibe here. Did you notice?
In the confessional or in the
well, in the in the real time when she was like, we do have some work to do, and we had
doing some therapy.
Yeah, and another therapy for the Vanderpump universe. I hope this woman demands. I hope she sends her rider in and it was like, look, this is what I need for these motherfuckers. But, they're looking for a therapist, and enter Lala and her leather pants. I'm going to tell you what. I'm a leather pants girl. It's a go-to for me. I wear a leather pant in the winter all the time. And so I just want to shout out my fellow leather pants lady, because they go with everything. They go with everything.
I love it. Yeah. And that's another shift, Sheena admits, she's buddies with Lala now and is like encouraging Katie to even. So there's another shift.
I love Katie, but her
Yeah.
reluctance to give a girl a shot is kind of one of her least attractive qualities. Because, I mean, if she's going to insist on being that girl, I don't
Yeah.
really want anything to do with her. What girl? The same girl that you're chatting with right now?
Yeah, I didn't know what that meant either. And I really do wonder, and I'm not excusing it because it is confusing to me what Katie's going for here. Like,
I know.
is it the whole like not getting, things not going right with Shorty? And so like somebody at work it's not going to go right with them. And Lala, new girl on the block, like that's going to be the person. Like, okay, I don't have time for that one either.
Well, what she's implying here when she says be that girl is the girl who
Yeah.
goes after people's boyfriends. That's what she's
Right.
suggesting. And the hypocrisy of her having this conversation with Sheena, and Sheena's saying, no, man, let's just be nice to her. She's cool. I'm kind of vibing with her. Like, how did it go at the Golden Box or whatever? And Katie's like, oh, no, I'm going to stay suspicious because what? And also, don't worry. Nobody want that schmuck of a toddler you lay down with every night. You don't got to worry about Lala. She ain't coming for this juvenile delinquent. Like, no.
No, I don't think if he walks in front of her right now, she knows who he is. I mean,
No.
I don't even think that they're in that. They've even hung out. They have hung out together, but I don't think she's really fully registered or anything.
Don't no woman except for Katie want to pay attention to a man who might as well wear a name tag that says all shucks. No.
Yuck.
Yes, exactly. And she's just so worried. So then there's this very awkward exchange between Jax and Sandoval and James. And James approaches their bar. And I want to know why this man felt like this was a friendly situation. In his mind, when he's walking up, did he think, oh, yeah, these are my homeboys. Let me go talk to them. Neither one of these people care for him in any way, shape, or form.
No, he came up to start shit. He came up to start shit with Jax. Absolutely. He tried to act cool at first, but I mean, you don't just go up and he knows exactly what to say, like it's fucking weird y'all hang out together, and like he says later, we've known each other forever.
Well, he starts out trying to complain about Kristen and having to go get his stuff. And he claims that he was wanting to like commiserate with Sandoval. And then Jax, and I don't even think this was him like stirring shit though, just in a really innocuous way. He was like, I know, man, I saw her earlier today. And that was the switch that flipped right there. And of all things for James to fixate on, Jax is the thing that he's fixating on, not that she was absolutely in love with Sandoval the entire time that they were together. Like she probably masturbated to Sandoval while he was laying in bed next to her. Like that's not the thing you're mad about. You're mad about them going to boxing. Like it's just really strange.
I think they have to see some of themselves in each other, and that just doesn't sit well with them. And they both won't think about anything that they're actually doing for 4 seconds. And so it just comes out aggressively and right at each other. And it's just easier to be upset with somebody than to think about it for a second and go, actually, there's no reason for us to not get along. Like friends with someone you don't date, and we don't even have to talk to each other when we work. So like we are going out of our way to see each other, even at work.
Well, James is going out of his way to like be in the line of Jax. And then James says something that I was like, oh, baby. He was like, you know what? What if Kristen and Jax are meant for each other? And I kind of saw it. I was like, okay. And then he immediately follows it up when they go back to the moment where he's like, it's so weird. You step in on her the second I get done with her. Yeah. Like he has poured his juice in a glass and set it on a counter and he walked by and picked it up. That is so disgusting. Talking about this woman like she is not even a human being. It's gross. And I need to get my thesaurus out and find other ways to say disgusting and gross, because I feel like every time I talk about James, all I say is disgusting and gross, because this feels more misogynistic than Jax under his breath muttering, I'd have destroyed her. I mean, Yeah. I mean,
just to put into somebody's worse than Jax. Great. We got that. But I mean, Jax comes back pretty hard when he does, but also like you're dating other girls, you're sleeping with other girls. There's lots of other stuff going on with you. And so what if he did step to her? You know, like, what is it to you? No one's got your back on this, you know? I mean, even Sandoval's over there, who makes some wonderful faces in this whole exchange, by the way.
He's so
And he
scared
is
of
just
calling
like,
Kristen like fucking
I know.
Beetlejuice. He doesn't even want to say her name because he's
He's
afraid
like,
she'll
that
step
was
out of the mirror.
twice. Don't say it again. Hold on. No. But he's like, James. And I'm James. And I'm like, what's he going to say? And he goes, it was a boxing class, dude. And they're like, they're just, I mean, well, they both, as soon as one of them starts going, the other one's fucking gone. I mean, they're just, they need to go make out or have a fight, whichever one it is. And, you know, F or F,
Speaking of
whichever
destroying
one
or the other.
whichever one you didn't do, destroy each other. Absolutely. And worst case scenario, you both die and we never see either one of you again. So that's also a possibility.
Jax is working on his handsome right now. He's in a rebuilding year right now.
Working on his handsome? Skip. Next
He's
track.
in a rebuilding year. But I want to say this about James. James acts like a wounded bird, and not in the way that he's like, oh, I need to take care of him. No, in the one that's flapping and squawking and will peck your eyes out because he is scared, because he's cornered. That's how he is. His aggression is so thinly veiled that it takes zero to dysregulate him.
Well, that's probably why, you know, Kristen's got him all locked and loaded when he comes over there. Like, here it is. Here's your stuff. It's your box. Get out. I'm having a glass of wine. Please get out.
Does James own a shirt with sleeves?
I don't. I think it's jackets and tank tops. I think that's it.
Okay, with just like very deep piece. So he turns
well,
up.
Well, I guess the Sir t-shirt, I believe, has sleeves on it. So if he owns his busing gear, then maybe that.
Well, even the pump, though, at Pride, he was wearing a tank top. But you're right. She's got it all neatly bundled, and you can see her try. She's already got her a glass of wine. She's trying to keep it at a simmer, okay? And he immediately tells that he knows about her going on a date, which it is neither here nor there. It does not matter. It doesn't matter if his dick was in her when you knocked on the door. No. Shut your mouth, get your shit, and go. But he is so immature and he is so dysregulated all the time. And then you pour Fireball on that, and this man is like a grenade that we've pulled the pin, and everybody's just like frozen, waiting for it to happen. And Kristen says something too right here that it bears repeating here because it's so fucking weird. James hates Jax because Kristen cheated on Tom with him.
Yeah, right. And that's why he's obsessed with him.
What does that have to do with you, my friend? Like,
I don't think that's it. By the way, I just don't think that's really it. I think they see each other as going after the same, you know, they're just both fishing the same pond, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like they're both competitors, you know, for every woman, you know, in WeHo, and that's just how, and they're not going to like each other. They're never going to. They've both said a bunch of shit to each other over the years. And I'm sure if you did ask them, because that sounds great to James, probably like he's being chivalrous. Like that guy messed with Kristen when she was dating, so now I don't like him. But it's just misplaced anger. That's the only fucking thing.
Did you just use the word chivalrous and DJ James Kennedy in the same sentence? Because that's a real leap, sir.
His attempt. I'm not. Let's be real. Don't pull me into your get these dudes' backs. No. I'm not doing that. James is so an insecure, unsure, absolute douche here, and
and it doesn't really bear us like going line for line for it. But I did find it hilarious whenever James like shouted out to her, "It's like, yeah, I'm not even thinking about you. I'm thinking about Lala." And I just wrote, too bad she's not, because this woman don't give a shit about you. She has already moved on, unless he can make that. You know,
I was going to say it depends on how far along in the track he is, and then that's the only thing keeping her tethered at all. James mentions her, Kristen mentions her, they start yelling. I was like, yelling, tank tops flailing.
Yeah. And I mean, they say some things that just cut to the white meat. Things I would not bring up to my worst enemy. And then that's when James sort of results to the nasty slut of it all. And I will
Yeah.
say, Kristen uses the word ratchet, which I don't like that. I tell my students not to use that because there's some pretty gross racial stuff like baked into it, but this is 2015. And then she's like, get out, because it makes her, I can't remember what was the thing that like tipped her over from like trying to be cool into like really yelling. But that's when she's like, get out, just get out, get out, get out, get out. And there was a moment when my breath kind of caught in my throat. I was like, are they about to fist fight? Like, it's
They're
tense.
either about to start making out or fist fight. Like, I mean, even when they're yelling at each other and James is slapping his own face, I thought like right then Kristen is about to jump his skinny bones. You know, like I really do not. Well, we've talked about it with those two, that's what kind of gets them off, you know.
But this scene was not given, you know,
Oh,
anger
it
is
got
my
to a
kink.
point where it
Yeah.
did pass that. But at first, like I said, it was up till about when he's slapping his own face that.
Well, Jax even checks in. He was like, you're sure that you're not going to like double back? And she's like, no. But this was this scene was scary. I mean, if this man didn't weigh 102 pounds,
Yeah,
and Kristen hasn't proven herself to be a bruiser, I think we could be more scared of it. But like, this got really heated in a really scary way. And
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. He is a menace. And I don't understand. If this was 2026, I do not believe that this man would be allowed on TV. They would have pulled him off because of like, you know, canceling and whatever, because he is obviously flagging domestic partner abuse in every way. He spits on her door, which for anybody, and trigger warning for anyone who has experienced any sort of domestic abuse, but that is a thing that abusive partners will do when they are like trying to not be physically abusive to you.
Right.
Like that's a instead situation. And him doing that immediately clicks that he has it in him to slap her or to push her around or to, you know, hurt her physically, period, hands down.
Yeah, and then, I mean, straight up calling her slut, spitting, calling her slutty, you know. And again, one thing that is reassuring about Kristen is you can tell she's not about to, she's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, her not flipping out and getting real scared, even, I'm not saying it wasn't, just because she didn't act scared doesn't mean it's not a big deal. That's fucking horrible. You know, it's easy to clean up the spit, but that is horrible what it represents. You know, you're like, please just push her one step for. I mean, at this point, I'm like, push her buttons for one more second, because I do want to see her pull a kitchen knife out of the block and come over to you, and like, just we never see James again.
I mean, she would have put him over his shoulder and pile drive him Ric Flair style. Like, she ain't
off the
that
balcony,
shit.
off that third floor balcony, he goes, no problem.
But we see this later, but I think chronologically it happens where once he leaves, she immediately calls Jax. And
he's not out of the building.
Yeah.
No.
And so we go from there. We'll put a pin in that. We go from there to this fucking meeting at Pandora and Jason's office. I was so embarrassed. I didn't even want to look at the screen. I was so embarrassed.
I'll tell you how the worst part is what an idiot I am. I got excited still. They were going to Pandora and Jason's office, and there's a part of me that was like, cool, let's see what happens. And I was like, you fucking idiot. Like, what did you think? You know, like, what happened is exactly what we should have thought was going to happen. No, I had to go in there like maybe they've got it. I don't know. Maybe they put something. I don't know why.
You saw them brainstorming. I'm doing quotes. You saw them brainstorming about it.
I guess I just want it to go well. It should go well. Like, two guys in their about 30, been in the restaurant business for a while, like, should have some inkling as far as what to do.
Serving this product every single day. One of them has a wine and spirits background. One has a service. Well, we're just taking him on his own face value.
I know.
But they sit down, and Schwartz immediately starts talking, and you can see Sandoval just the whole clenches.
Pardon, hold on. Let me tell you, I was excited. And then what Schwartz actually started with, let's see if I can reenact.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Y'all, you have to go to YouTube to see.
Hey. That's how he starts the business meeting, with a peekaboo. This is an international beverage brand that you're trying to latch onto in some tiny capacity. And you thought right out the gate, this is not Robin Williams coming in to read for Miss Doubtfire and like, you got to do something zany. This is Tom Schwartz trying to be part of LVP products. And you're just like, I'll tell you what, I'll start with. Your best friend has asked you to not say anything. Also, did a little background on that. So yeah, just around the corner, the peekaboos, what starts off.
And
yeah.
It seems like Pandora and Jason don't want to be there. They're doing this because Lisa, the producer of Vanderpump Rules, is like, listen, man, this is real good TV. People in 2026 are going to be talking about this. You know, like, just humor me. Just sit there for a while. They are all ready. Pandora's wonky eye is rolling the whole time because it's stupid. Jason comes in hot with a chip on his shoulder. He knows that they're going to fuck it up. So
yeah, expectations are metered at best, is what we would say about this.
And so in his confessional, Schwartz talks about he needs something to work because, and the way he started talking about it was so weird. He's like, yeah, I've got all this coming. I've got rings. I've got engagements. I got engagement parties. I've got weddings. I've got kids. I've got colleges. What is all the plural happening here? You have a ring and an engagement party and a wedding and children. Like, what?
You have a ring.
Well,
you have a ring.
Sure.
That's it. So he needs something to happen soon. So his, like, I don't know, is this his get rich quick scheme? Is like, well, we'll get on to a brand of, like, what happens? And they do ask him, like, later on, but it is like, how do you see this? Let's say this goes the way you want it to be. Write it down. You've seen scripts before. Write me a script about what happens tomorrow. Yeah.
Right. I mean, they ask some of the most baseline questions. And Tom Schwartz sits down and says, I'm excited for the opportunity, knowing damn well he doesn't even know what the opportunity is. So this is where Schwartz says, we want to be brand ambassadors championing the brand. That's like he's sitting down saying something like, you know what, the synergy of the synthesis of the...
We talked, we digested some things. We looked at some numbers, and we're going to be brand ambassadors.
Yes, we need to increase visibility on an already international brand. So, really, before we move on, what do you think they thought they wanted to do? Like, show up on Instagram?
I really don't know. And I mean, I think Pandy kind of references it later, but what I imagine is, you remember when like Red Bull was kind of even still new, and they did this for several years, and like the Red Bull girls would show up at bars with like backpacks, cooler backpacks, and like Red Bull slinging everywhere. Like to the bar, they'd give them a crate, and it's a fucking Red Bull party right away. And that's right, kids. Back in the day, they also did it with cigarettes, like in my lifetime, not that long ago. And
smoking,
that would happen. You're like, I don't usually smoke Camels, but this is 3 packs of Camels for free. No problem at all.
I'm smoking Camels
next
today.
Couple days. And I think that's what they think is going to happen.
Well,
and I don't even think they would have like those examples. It's like, we'll show up to a bar. I think they want to like open a, like be the people that get invited to club openings. I don't know.
Hear me out. And I am feeling optimistic and generous today. I know that's very unlike me. But what if what they were proposing is what we understand in 2026 to be influencers, right? Like, they wanted to go to parties, drink, have their picture taken, post some things, kind of like what you don't watch Southern Hospitality, but kind of what Leva makes those folks do for Republic, just to be. I think that's what they were trying to say. We didn't have the phrase influencer, I don't think, as pervasively as we do now, and it certainly wasn't a career. You certainly couldn't major it in college like you can now. But I think, and so maybe they're ahead of their time, Jeff.
Maybe Tom has also done things in bars and clubs and restaurants and knows that like there's a such and such night, you know, when you feature these kind of things. And they could have said something like that. Like
a club
they're
promoter.
Basically wanting to be like, we can be in your ad. I think that's
Well, that's what I'm saying. We were saying the same thing too, right? And they could just like post it, and because like at this point they were probably garnering quite a few fans on Twitter because the past and on Instagram, and so maybe they were trying to invent influencer culture.
that's very sweet. You're being very sweet. I think we're being very nice of this. And I think Jason sums it up best when it's like, yeah, if I had you, I don't know, man, put you in a Speedo and get you out there.
Yeah.
Like, that's how serious we're taking it at that point.
Lisa Vanderpump is actively laughing at
It's
these
great.
folks. Like she
It is
is
great.
in the meeting like, and Pandy's like, "What's wrong with you?" She's like,
Do you need a second?
And then cut to her confessional, her laughing. And so did she do this just for the plot? Like was she knew they were going to fuck it up. And so just so the show could have these moments to show, or like surely she knew they weren't going to be successful in this way.
I think she took it seriously as in like, yeah, we'll take a meeting, and then probably walked away from it like, oh my gosh, like at least I'll get a little comic relief out of it. Like I think I think she is, because if they come in and they have a fucking even half-ass idea, there is another that it does further the conversation. The only things that grinds it to a halt is not doing anything, which is what they do. So I don't know if this ends up going anywhere, but it does not seem like it.
Schwartz says, "I'm in," and Jason says, "How are you in?"
I have that. Also, this is
What
also when
doing?
I say, like, when they go down the pro bono thing, and I'm like, what are we going for here? And that's when, like, Pandora, I think, is like, okay, whatever you want to have happen, happens. It's Monday. What's happening?
Well, that's not really what I mean. We're not a real 9 to 5. Like we would need to have some conversations about it, and we just need to talk about like how things are going to like shake out. Blah 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 blah. But the meeting ends up with them agreeing to be pro bono / interns / shot girls, and Pandora says, "Yeah, I guess."
Yeah, they're unpaid interns when it stops. And Schwartz is like, what do you think? I mean, you're unpaid interns. Yeah, we'll keep you on.
So
I even look, I started with, yes, I'm excited, and ended with, God damn it. That's what that says right there.
Oh, what a ride. What a ride that was. All right, well, our sweet Kentucky muffin is in town, but only until Thursday when she has to take the 9 a.m. flight, which is the first flight out. As she mentions,
Where?
no, the fuck
Where
it's
is
not.
that the first flight out?
Nowhere. Nowhere is 9 a.m. in the morning the first flight out.
In Jack's world.
As I
want to get a whole
nowhere.
list of rules about Jack's world.
So this is where he tells her about Lala, and I wish that I had the patience and the wherewithal to go back over the last 4 seasons that we have been part of and do a montage of Jax explaining to the woman that he's with about the thing he did that fucked up, and like his sort of like tripping language and him yada 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 through it all. And it's like, well, drinks with Lala, but it's just friends, and he's hemming and he's hawing. And I wish that I had that. So, like somebody in the Pinot universe, y'all do it and send it to me, because the word salad that just comes out of this man's mouth is ridiculous. And as he has mentioned, Brittany is very clueless, except didn't she see the show? But
well, he doesn't want to call her clueless.
Okay.
But
splitting hairs here.
Also, why is he even talking about Lala? She didn't bring it up. I mean, no one's talking about this. He gets half done explaining whatever, the thing you were relaying. And then he's like, anyway, that's that. Like, on to the next news story. I'm like, what's what? Now I only have questions. Like, that explaining you did just made me have questions.
So in Jax's mind, is he going to leave Kentucky Muffin at the apartment while she's in town for 4 or 5 days, go have drinks with Lala, and then come back and get some, quote, lovin'?
I mean, also, this is like right when they get home. Like, here we are, way to travel. As soon as your ass hits the couch, like, anyway, Lala wanted me to come have drinks with her, is what happened. Like, that's too far on your back already.
Well,
like, you've You must have messed up something.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he has sort of like the same MO over and over and over again. How he's like, no, it was her. I mean, obviously, she was the one. It wasn't me. I would have never. But like, this is a friend. Like, if I want to do it for her, but like, I don't want to do it. I mean, it's just fine. It's right. It's right. Okay, right. And Brittany just says she's bold. And okay, but it's so funny. And I don't know, we get the Valley content. She's on the Valley now too. To see her
Yes.
now versus then, it is a real journey and listen, do I look the same as I did 12 years ago, 11 years ago? Absolutely not. Could you still recognize me if you hadn't seen me in 11 years and you see me in the grocery store? Probably.
Well, I want more of Brittany in every episode. Like these little blips aren't worth anything. I mean, I don't know why you're even bringing her into the conversation almost. But
Wow.
number one rule in Jack's world, Sundi, a little bit of truth goes a long way. Isn't that right? Isn't that right?
Yeah. That could be the name of his autobiography. And I'm going to tell you right now, if Jax Taylor ever writes an autobiography, there will be a Sunday-shaped hole in the door, be bursting through it to get there. I'll be the first one in line. I want to read every word of it. I want to read every word.
In line, what do you mean? He needs a ghostwriter? Maybe I'm looking right at it.
I mean, listen, that's some opportunities. Let me send my application in too. Unless he listens to these, and then I could never look him in the eye ever again if he ever listened to one.
I think there's a long line of people clamoring to be a literary partner with him. I think you might have better luck than you think.
I don't know. He's a fairly polarizing figure.
Getting to their own relationship status, right? I mean, we were talking about it earlier. Like, so what do you think? Is it serious?
So he says, listen, I want to be with you for a very, very long time. Put this in the handbook of shitty fucking men who are too scared to do anything. I just don't want to fuck this up. Would you like me to tell you, as a person who has dated many, many shitty men, shitty people, period, when someone says, I don't want to fuck this up, this means they are 100% going to fuck this up. And when they say, you just don't deserve me, that means they're going to do something really bad to you. And they just let you know. So he wants to be with her for a really, really, really long time. But I just don't want to mess it up. And she's like, I don't want you to mess it up either. Girl, get out. Go home.
Now, remember, 2 minutes ago, he started the conversation talking about another girl as soon as she traveled from Kentucky to LAX. So these two things have happened in the last 100 seconds. So just keep that in mind also.
And she's like, I'm hungry. She's like, I'm tired. You can get all the loving you want, babe. Okay. Like, I don't need y'all to talk this way. Like, I know how Jax interacts with people, and he is morphing into this kind of cosplay gentleman for her. And it is so awkward to watch him pretend to be a person that he thinks Brittany should be with. It's so bizarre.
You mean like a guy who wants her to move in with him?
Well, this is where we get the montage. How many clips did we see? 6, 8? She's not moving in.
Right.
She's not moving in, is she? No, she's not moving in. Don't let her move in. Jax, don't ask her to move in. Even his mother, God bless the Saint Marie, okay, was like, don't let this woman move in. And the very first thing he says, well, you could stay with me for a while. Okay.
Guess you better move in. Yeah.
And also, speaking of only snippets, where is she when he's at work? Because we cut back to Sir, because this is the day of the youth dinner and like everybody's at work. Where's she?
There's got to be tons of Brittany out here to be getting. So I don't know if we're just going to get this. We better get delivered some soon. Like, we need to have some Brittany packages coming up.
They are giving Brittany in drips, but you already know, this is not a spoiler. She becomes Jackson's like main person. So the way they're kind of like doling her out a little bit is very interesting, especially in retrospect, because it's hard to watch it's hard to watch because she at this point is so dickmatized by this man that she is dismissing all of the red flags. listen, I'm going to tell you what. If I'm on a date with someone 3 or 4 times and every person we run into, they're like, has he asked you to have his babies yet? Hey, is she going to let you move in? What? Can we talk? What's
I
happening? I know
know.
they're teasing you, but
Well,
like,
then
can we have some conversation?
it fools me into thinking like she knows what she's doing or she has a bigger idea going on because I've seen her walk into a room with Lisa Vanderpump, and like I don't need anything from her, a job or anything, but if I'm in the same room with her, like I'm probably not playing it as cool as Brittany seems like she is. So those couple things make me like, oh, okay, she knows what's going on. And then I see her, if you want to give your impression here, and I'm like, well, I don't know if that is what's happening. And that's why I need like something more. Like we didn't know what to think of Lala for the first week because we just got a little sprinkling of her. Then we spend a few minutes with her and you learn a lot about her real quick. And I want
Let's
that
get
with
it
Brittany
poppin',
also.
daddy.
Yeah,
Well,
that
I
we
mean,
did that. We don't need to. We,
so episode 7, I think, because I mean, I don't know when she's going to move in, move out. They've obviously already decided that she is moving. So when that
yeah,
happens, pull the trigger. But so Sheena is such a goddamn kiss up. Lisa Vanderpump is so giving. She didn't have to do this, but she does. When I have all this money, I want to be able to do this. She's just so wonderful. She can't hear you right now, Sheena, right? Like,
right.
you know that.
She doesn't watch the show.
Yeah, like, you don't have to do this. But then Sandoval and Ariana, and this is
Uh
where
huh.
we start to see a little bit of negativity start to roll out between them. We've
I knew
never
it. I
seen
knew you were going to be so excited about this. I was like, we're blowing right past these kids having dinner and having fun.
yes,
Like she
fine,
saw
fine.
Tom and Ariana not getting along. This is the story of the day right here.
He tries to tell Ariana that he thinks he rescued that meeting. Blink, blink,
I
blink.
think she knows exactly what happened in that meeting. And I think that's what leads to her a lot of like, this is bad.
Well,
Don't you
she
be
says
cutesy with me right now, y'all.
it ain't even baby steps. It's fetus steps that this man is because he doesn't want to be pressured and he doesn't want to feel like he's got to do something every day. He doesn't want to go to a 9 to 5 job and he wants the summers off and he wants to. Sir, good luck to you. Keep on wishing.
Yeah. Also, like Ariana with the fetus steps, like we know you're not big on kids and family. We get it. Like I understand as someone who's much older than you are here that doesn't have kids, I get it. But like fetus steps, we can get rid of that. But I think she's like a little bothered by Tom. I think she was probably on him all week. I'm just like you guys looked at a plan yet? Nope. Like Wednesday, you guys looked at a plan yet? Nope. I was telling you to. Thursday, like y'all looked at something yet? You had all weekend. Did you do anything? No. Like, all right.
And
And then you go in and he does the drink thing, and his response is, I rescued it, but Jason was real aggressive and like wants me to work all the time, and I'm not that aggressive. I was like, what are you talking about? This I got it. That
yeah,
was my little
Jason wants you to work
showed off.
the way the way that people the way
Most
that people
days.
work. Yeah, most
Yeah.
people work.
Most
That
days.
is that's how a job works. But Lala is, complaining about how intense it is to work here. And this is where we see the flashback where Kristen calls Jax immediately and Jax volunteers to be the heavy in this situation. But Lala is going to keep James at arm's length. He's got a big hill to climb to be her friend, unless he can make my single happen and then it's cool. Everything's cool. Well, this is where Ariana is real annoyed because it happens 2 times in a row. Number 1, she's like, "Hey, Tom, when these teens come in, we need to have some like cute, fancy drink." Tom goes and does it, claims the idea for his own. And she's like, "Yeah, this is
Right.
fine. But they need to be like pink and fun and girly." And Tom's like, "I roll, I roll." The very first thing Lisa Vanderpump says when she approaches the bar, "No, this is great, but like also do it different." These bits, both Schwartz and Sandoval have access to these women who are smart and capable and to have a larger sense of the greater workings of this like global situation. And yet
Yeah.
they forge ahead like they know everything. And I find it to be so ridiculous. And like I was saying, yeah, I could have destroyed her was the least misogynistic thing. What I just saw happen between Ariana and Tom, way up there in the misogyny, for sure.
Yeah. And this is what I think. I think this is like the fourth thing going on for Ariana right here that is like, all right, you messed up the meeting. Like, at least let me do this. Oh, you screwed that up too. Oh, now I've got to do this. Like, it's just one thing after another. And she's just rolling her eyes like in a
And
big, big way.
Tom characterizes it as he's a more positive person than Ariana.
Yeah.
And when he sees that she is getting upset, he just likes to hide from it. Oh, okay. Well, say that you are completely emotionally unavailable without just saying it out loud.
Yeah, that's a very grown up way to do it. I'll just hide out. It's cool.
Yeah, because that's how we solve things. And two, whenever people characterize women as being like, "Oh, you're so much drama," or "You love to fight," no, what that means is you don't understand how to interact with like legit emotions, and so I am going to actively make you feel alienated for reacting to the thing that I did, which is a much more innocuous way to interact with a woman versus what James does. But it's not great. It's not great.
Yeah. No, I mean, he'll pipe up and like Jax and James are hollering at each other, but if like his girlfriend's upset, they go back over here.
The teens arrive and, Lisa wants them to feel welcome and she starts introducing and she introduces Jiggy before she does Ken. She's
That's the order. That's
is
the
my
order.
sexy, beautiful man, Jiggy. And here's Bernie's weekend over here. I guess he's fine. And then when she's sort of like making her acquaintance, she leans down and she says, "Yeah, so you're actually homeless? Like you're actually homeless? What? What weirdo conversation starter is that? Yes, it's a homeless teen charity, ma'am."
Nah, I just joined up with this charity, and luckily they were going to this restaurant first day. I live right down the street. As a matter of fact, you might know my mom. Yes, they are actually homeless. Like,
And Sheena immediately takes the opportunity to make it about her. Oh, I
yeah,
see these people suffering and these kids who are doing this, but you know what? It makes me realize how my problems are. And I need to get myself together because I have it so much better than these poor children. So I need to get myself in a different situation. I'm like, God damn, Sheena, you just serve them the goat cheese balls and stop acting like, your life is important. Like these people are sleeping on the street. Get yourself together.
they're having calamari for the first time, and it's a hit. Get in there and enjoy it. Just have fun with it. That's sweet.
If you had never ever eaten calamari before and somebody describes it to you as it's fishy, it's like a chewy, but it's fishy,
Chewy fish,
but it's good. She is not selling it. Listen, if that was Faith, she would have fired her.
I hope there was something more. We do get a Faith alert, by the way. We get a Faith gets the kids table. There had to be some other description. Like it comes with a cool sauce. I hope there was somebody who's just like, just check it out. You'll like it. But
Right.
it was sweet. It was real sweet. But no, her descriptor was horrible. Yeah.
If Lisa had made Faith describe it and Faith described it that way, fired. But also, too, I found it really cute that one of the kids at the table was trying to set up Katie with their brother. She's like, I got a brother who's 32.
Yeah.
She's just already clocked what a loser situation Katie was in and had to. So.
Your boyfriend did what? No. Let me set you up with somebody.
I got you, girl.
The umbrella guy? Oh, I don't need that.
He's never gonna live it down. We've got a big birthday coming up. Ariana is the big 3 decades. That means that she is 6 times cooler than your average 5-year-old. What? Or twice as cooler as a 15-year-old. Like, what?
You don't like math with your jokes?
It was just a weird. Who needs to be cooler than a 5? I'm not getting into it. Never mind. Because also, Peter has a birthday.
Yeah, another celebration coming up.
In Vegas. No, remember we said Vegas was closed. Vegas is canceled for these idiots.
Well, one person agrees with you, that's for sure. Like I said, it's just a few more, like, something on top of something. And then, like, Ariana is real, like, most pissed at Tom we've ever seen her, for sure. because she has gotten over some things we are well aware of. And he just like is screwing the stuff up, messing with her. You know, she doesn't like her bar messed with, and that's what he's doing. And it's like, oh,
Well,
and I'm going to Vegas with the boys on super short notice. Like, the fuck you are? Yes, I'm pissed off about it. Yes, you need to talk to me about it. What are you talking about? Going to Vegas with Peter? That's the last thing. 2000 and nevers when you're taking that trip.
but she blames it on heteronormativity. I just don't
That was a
understand
weird.
why the girls has got to be girls and the boys was. And listen, as a person who does not subscribe to a lot of things that are heteronormative, I like to be with my girlfriends without my spouse. And listen, my spouse is a woman, right? It is not
Yeah.
about like the gendered of it all. It is like, hey, let these people go be with their friends without you. And she's like, I'm just going to be sitting at home alone or working. Find a friend. You and Sheener go on the town.
But I mean, to be fair, if that's your boyfriend and those are his friends, are you excited about him going out of town? I don't care if it wasn't Vegas. He could have said anywhere. Like, we're going to the Pasadena, flea market. We're going to the swap
especially
meet down the
Vegas.
street. Like, not with those folks. With both Toms and a Peter with no ponytail, you're not doing that.
And
If Jack
poor
Taylor's
Peter.
going, you're not.
Well,
Yeah,
we
it's
see
his
in the scenes
birthday.
from next time he ruined. Yeah, we see in the scenes from next time that Jax ruins everything. But Peter's like,
Yes.
ugh. Peter's standing there, and like this whole argument happens, and he's like, "Oh no, sorry, my bad. I'm just trying to fill my 4 minutes on camera. Like, was this the wrong thing to do? Oh, yeah."
My bad for having a birthday this week. That's on me. Excuse me. I didn't plan around that.
Sir, it's the day after her birthday, which not a thing, okay? Not a
No.
thing. You cannot be mad that he's going the day after your birthday. Nice try, but that's not how it works.
You can be mad that dude's trying to go to Vegas, though.
Yes, I will say that.
I mean, we understand that for sure.
We know what had a golden nugget. So,
oh man,
so
you ready
now
to
Jax,
get into this one?
Jax is, the hero of the world. Like you said one day, not all heroes wear capes. So he confronts James about the spitting, and James immediately denies it. No, I didn't do that. No. But then it was like, okay, I did it, but it wasn't even a loogie. But I mean, okay, I did it, and it wasn't even a loogie, but it wasn't even at her. It was on the door. And
It wasn't at her.
It, and I was mad. So fuck off. Like, why are you getting mad? And I will say this too. If Jax had the skills to emotionally regulate himself in this instance, he could have had the upper hand immediately, because James gets mad.
Yeah. I mean, that's always like Jax always has a chance to prevail, and no.
Right. But in this instance, he is fucking with someone who is even more emotionally reactive, even more emotionally immature, even more just kind of like wackadoodle. And so, like I said, context matters. In this instance, if he had just 2 degrees less confrontational, he could have won that day. But he didn't. And so they're shouting and they're shouting and they're shouting. And this is editing. Who knows actually how much wafted out to the charity event at the table, but the way that they wanted us to perceive it was that they were shouting and the whole table heard it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Lisa's got to come in, interrupt the 2 of these dinguses, and James starts like at her. I mean, no way.
Yeah,
you're out of here forever immediately.
She said, and this really like my, if I, panties combustion. If you raise your voice in my restaurant, it'll be the last thing you do. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, girl. Gotcha. Check.
And guess what? He gets to finish his shift. That's how strong she really is about what she means right here. Like, nice flip-flop, manager Lisa.
Let's talk a little bit about the energy shift between how she talks to Jax versus how she talks to James. It is a completely different vibe. When she talks to James, it is absolutely a, hey, I'm addressing a subordinate, get yourself together, put a smile on, shut your mouth. When she talks to Jax, it's much more of a peer. She says, hey, chill out, chill out, chill out. Don't do this. Like, lower your voice. It is such a different connection the way she's talking to him. And I'm just like, is nobody else clocking this? I guess we have the privilege of hindsight, but nobody else is seeing this. Like,
I mean, that's
y'all,
the question every year, right? Why does he get away with all this? And that's why people ask that all the time, is because she goes to him and he won't let it go. Again, for like no reason. He's the one that brought it up. So I understand being mad at this dude if he's spitting at your friend's door. But you did bring it up. That dude got mad and you're just going on and on about it. Like you said, she's like, calm down. He's just bitching about it. Calls it his restaurant. She doesn't care for that. And I'm like,
well,
just please get both of these people out here.
yes.
Out,
And
please.
James goes to have a ciggy, and poor Peter, tasked with watching them the rest of the night.
Tasked with keeping them separate.
Yeah, poor Peter. And, James goes this way. And so next week is going to be a little bit of a buffer, I think, because the boys are in Vegas. We do get to see Ariana's epic adult kids party with lots of tongue happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do a construction activity in Vegas, I guess. I'm going to assume that they're not working legitimately, that they paid to have that experience. LVP can't believe that they let these boys go to Vegas. Neither can we. We get some very salacious queer baiting between Ariana, Katie, and I think it's Faith. I can't tell because it was like the back. And then Jax, I just wrote, Jax ruins everything by trying to fuck girls.
Yep. I also wrote Jax ruins everything.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Trouble in Vegas. Jax ruins everything.
Mm-hmm, for sure. I only, I had one because the past and one because the youth.
Okay. Let's hear it.
And my because the youth is James being so verklempt that his parents are getting divorced.
Yeah.
I know that I can understand. My parents were divorced. They were, they were divorced like my whole life or whatever. But I can't imagine as a grown person in the world having this public cry session in the conversation with my parents. It was just giving like middle school. And I was just like, you're just too young, sir. You're too young.
I mean, it has a little bit of like, when we meet Marcus in season 12 and he's so horrible and he's in some horrible substance abuse, then like you learn about his family a little bit and you're like, and then he does something immediately where you're like, fuck you for making me feel for you for a second. Like that's, like at the end of last season, we were starting to feel for James. Then we meet him again this season. We hate him even more. Like that back and forth. I'm just so sick of that, like, all right,
Yeah.
maybe he isn't that bad of a guy. And then he, does anything and you flip a little bit. What was
Like he is.
Yeah.
So my only because the past, and I wasn't a really close watch, but I just remember the boxing circuit craze when it went around. Everybody was doing boxing classes, and they were like, you were wearing your gloves and you were like doing burpees and all this stuff in your gloves, and it was just that was a real hot moment in the fitness culture at that moment. And Kristen and Jax, if anybody, these two need it worse than anybody does.
Oh, that's 5 days a week. Please get in there. The whole your home insurance probably goes down if you go do this and you're Kristen. She's less likely to burn the place down now. Let's give her a little break.
She's doing therapy. You got any?
Speaking of her, I did have Ratchet under my because the past.
I did too. You like Ratchet.
And that top Lala has with the flower, like with the daisies all over it going down in the front.
Yeah.
That was a big thing for a little while. Kind of, especially like festival scene kind of thing. Yeah, I get a fashion one every now and then. What's up?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, you do.
My LVP, biggest fail of the week, also goes to effort. All of the effort that should have been put forth in this episode did not show up. In lies people told, very little effort gone in there. Well, ask me who my chump is, I guess.
Okay, so your LVP was effort?
No. You asked me who my chump was, and it's effort.
Okay, so your chump is effort. Who's your LVP? No, we're doing
I wasn't done.
Right, so who's your
my chump?
I asked who your LVP was.
also the big fail here all around is effort. Effort in people's line. That was not there. And really trying to make relationships. That is a very sideways effort right here. People going into meetings with absolutely zero effort. So effort is the big loser for me this week. Yes, that is my
That's the
chump.
loser.
Is no one putting forth a good effort in so many ways. How about you?
Closely related
Okay.
to that, my chump is Sandoval. In that,
Yeah.
in the meeting, I'm not going to rehash, but like even just letting Schwartz talk first was so stupid. And then this whole thing where he just like gobbles up Ariana's ideas, like that's rude. Also, too, the way that his body tenses, his butthole clenches, and his jaw snaps shut anytime anybody says Kristen's name.
Yeah.
It just like, come on, dude, come on. And I'm wondering if we're going to see some fighting between him and Ariana. Fingers crossed. My LVP
Yes.
of the season is Pandy and Jason because they suffered no fools. No fools. Like Pandy just looking the dead man like, you want to work for free? Sure. Okay. Come on. I loved it. They stole the show.
Yep. I had that as a backup. I also just had Sir. Let's give it up for Sir. It's providing the drama. It's given a place where the kids can be hosted and experience something cool. We get to, it provides a lot in this episode. We were actually in the restaurant a lot. So that's fun to see, obviously. But yeah, it just made people happy and was kind of the thing that kept people coming in contact with each other. So I'm giving it up for Sir this week. Don't think I've ever done that.
I think that is fair. I know, that's fair. I mean, really, it's just sort of like a surrogate for Lisa Vanderpump, but since she can't be the LVP every week, so got it.
Well, her grandbaby is the product line at this point also.
Fair
as she
enough,
says,
fair
because
enough.
Pandy and Jason, that's the closest she's got so far.
Okay. Well, for more of this, for y'all to see Nolan strangle me and, me get sugars from my actual grandbaby, go to the YouTubes, TikTok, Instagram, all of that at Take a Pinot Pod. And there's so much content. So y'all check it out and make sure you look at the schedule. I've got it pinned to both Instagram and TikTok to see how the schedule goes this week.
Thanks for listening, everybody.